You wouldn't walk up to a total stranger at a coffee shop and ask them to marry you, right? That would be crazy, but that is exactly what most high ticket businesses are doing with their ads. You're pitching a 5, 10, even 15, 25K plus offer to someone who doesn't even know they have a problem yet. To fix this, you have to master awareness stages. You need to date the prospect before you propose. So in this video, I'm showing you how to walk a stranger from completely unaware to ready to buy so the sale feels like the natural next step. Let's dive in. Alrighty, let's get into the actual 5 awareness stages that you need to know. So there's unaware. This is when your prospect doesn't know or even care about the problem that your product solves. Then there's problem aware. This is when they feel the pain and they can name the problem. Then there's solution aware. So they know categories of potential solutions for said problem. Then there's product aware. They know the products, maybe for your products or competitors' products, but they're just unconvinced. And then there's most aware. They know you, they just need a little bit of a nudge. So why does awareness actually matter? People bring existing awareness levels with them. So when you run an ad on Meta, and let's say you're selling them some sort of dating coaching, right? Helping men start to date more women or date the women they want to date. A lot of people don't even know that dating coaching is an actual thing. So if you start talking to people in the ad saying, let's say talking about product aware things like, this is why we're better, or this is how we compare against competitors, etc., they're not even going to process that in their mind because they're just thinking, what the fuck is dating coaching? Like, they don't even know that's a potential solution to their problem. So they would fit more under that problem aware bracket. You need to name the problem. You need to talk about the problem. So then through the funnel, through your educational resources and the stuff that you post maybe on your Instagram account or your YouTube channel or the ads that you're running, you're able to then educate them so they are aware that they can actually pay you to get the outcome that they want. So when you're running ads, try and think about your avatar. Like what awareness stage are they in? Because if you start targeting an avatar that's completely unaware of or has a very low awareness level of what solutions are out there, and you're trying to talk to them about the solution, it's just not going to compute and they're not going to be interested to want to click on the ad. So a common mistake that marketers assume is that the problem is known, the solution's known, they just need like a little push, like maybe they just need a discount or maybe they need urgency. They're like, oh, we're selling out, we're only taking on 5 people a month. But if you say to someone who doesn't even know that your product exists through an ad that we're taking on 5 people a month only, they just don't give a shit. Like, it's not something they actually care about, so it's not going to make them want to click. So the reality is the mismatch equals the awareness mismatch. You can't speak to an unaware like ready to buy. It's like asking for marriage on the first date. You need to warm them up. You need to educate them to the point where they have the awareness level to book in a sales call, and then it makes sales 10 times easier for your sales team. They're actually hopping on sales calls knowing how you're actually going to be able to help them, and that sale for the sales rep is going to drastically increase rather than a sales rep trying to hard close on that call. So a key principle is you need to meet them where they are today. And you can have different types of ads, you can put in different sort of campaigns targeting different awareness stages, but the funnel needs to reflect that. The copywriting when they hit the landing page needs to reflect that. The VSL needs to reflect that. You need to meet them where they're at. So it needs to be congruent from the ad to the funnel, all the way through to when they apply and then book in a sales call. You need to diagnose their awareness stage. So a pretty good rule of thumb for market maturity is that if it's a crowded market, they're most likely solution aware or even product aware. Your ads aren't really going after necessarily the problem. So for example, let's say you do sales recruitment. You can talk about sales recruitment because the people who have issues with sales reps know that recruitment is an option to get the desired outcome. You can say, we'll build your sales team. You can say this sort of language because the market knows that having a sales team is going to increase their revenue and increase their sales, and then they grow their business. And then there's early niche where they're going to be more unaware or problem aware. So if you start selling business coaching to cafe owners, I'm sure there's people out there who do that, but it's very small and it's a very blue ocean. People aren't really running that offer on ads. I haven't seen any. Maybe they are. I don't know. But you've got to understand the maturity of your markets. Then you know what majority of people are going to be, what awareness stage majority of people are in. Now, channel clues. If they're searching for the brand, if they're trying to pick based on brand or based on company, that is product or most aware. If you're doing stuff through call advertising on Meta, you're most likely wanting to hit problem or solution aware. And if they're searching for a solution, that's solution aware. So what I like to recommend is that when you're running ads on Meta, have problem aware, more of an educational type of ad where you still CTA them through the funnel, and then have really direct solution aware ads. Piggybacking off my previous comment on, if you're building up them a sales team, like literally say, we're going to build you a sales team, because they have that awareness of knowing that that is what solves their problem. If you're going to build them a funnel, say you're going to build them a funnel, because building a funnel, they believe in their mind that that's going to help them grow. They can assume that funnel equals more leads equals more money, okay? That interest will then peak. And just a few examples here, like what they're saying. So I don't know what's wrong. If that's what they're thinking, if that's what they're saying, they're completely unaware. If they've tried programs and they think they just don't work, they are solution aware, but they're skeptical. Now you can have the same offer with 5 completely different messages. So unaware message. You go based on symptoms, you go based on story, you go based on tension. Problem aware. You lead with the main singular problem that they're facing. Solution aware. You go based on category and differentiation. Product aware is more why you versus others. And then most aware is urgency, offers, risk reversal.